Hi, I'm Carl Zah, host to the Silk and Steel podcast. Some of you have asked me to comment on the ongoing India-Pakistan conflict. Well, here's what we know so far. India Air Force have struck deep inside Pakistan at what they claim to be terrorist camps. Pakistan side scrambled their jets. According to the Pakistan Defense Ministry, there were 125 aircrafts involved in combat. If true, this would mark it as the largest modern aerial combat in the 21st century. On the India side, India Air Force deployed the most advanced European fighter jet, Rafale. On the Pakistani side, Pakistan deployed their Chinese-made JF-17 and J10Cs, equipped with PL-15 air-to-air missile. And this is what happened. Pakistan side claimed they shot down 5 Indian fighter jets, out of which at least 3 are Rafale. Now we have visual confirmation of Rafale wreckage inside India. And it turns out this is one of the first Rafale that was delivered to India back in 2020. Now this is huge news because Rafale is one of the most advanced European fighter jets. And just 10 days before this conflict, India had announced it made a new deal with France to take additional deliveries of 26 Rafale at a total price package of $7.4 billion. That comes to about $284 million per plane. Now, compare that to the J10c, which has unit costs about $40 to $50 million. That is a huge difference. This is a terrible news for French company Dassault Rafale because it does irreparable reputational damage. And we have the live reaction from a Rafale salesman reacting to this news in India. Now, how did this happen? I found a video that provide a very reasonable explanation on how this air battle went down. Take it out.
Rafale versus JF-17. Who will win if India and Pakistan go to war? Both countries have nuclear weapons, but the real fight will start in the sky. After the Balakot airstrike in 2019, India upgraded its air force. They bought 36 Rafale fighter jets. These jets carry Meteor missiles. They can hit targets over 200 kilometers away. Meteor has become the backbone of India's air power. Now let's look at Pakistan. It relies on the JF-17 Thunder. This jet was first equipped with the PL-15E missile. That missile can hit targets up to 140 kilometers. The JF-17's radar can detect targets up to 150 kilometers. So, on paper, India had the upper hand. But then, a twist. China gave Pakistan the original PL-15 missile, not the export version. The real one can reach up to 300 kilometers. Even more than India's Meteor missile. But here's the catch. The JF-17 can't lock onto targets beyond 150 kilometers. So how do you use a 300-kilometer missile? Here comes the game changer. Pakistan's Saab 2000, an airborne radar plane. It flies with the JF-17, and it can detect enemy jets 450 kilometers away. When it sees a Rafale, it sends the target location to the JF-17. That means the JF-17 can launch its missile without turning on its own radar.
You just have to replace the JF-17s in the video with J10c because according to the Pakistan military, that's what they used. And they credit all the kills to the J10c.
Number 15 Squadron has the unique honor of having scored the first kill for Pakistan Air Force. And inshallah, when the time comes, number 15 Squadron again, being equipped with this aircraft, will be at the forefront in defense of the motherland. As you can see, it's a beautiful aircraft, highly maneuverable, extremely powerful, but most of all, being a 4.5 plus gen aircraft, it is truly unrivaled, unparalleled in the region. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Almighty, the induction of this weapon system in Pakistan Air Force is truly a game-changing event. With the kind of capabilities we now possess, it's a quantum leap.
J10c.
Now, the Pakistan deploys their J10c around the same time as India deploys their Rafale. Actually, a little bit later, because Pakistan officially inducted J10c into their service back in 2022, when then Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has attended the ceremony. And since then, Pakistan has held joint air drills with Chinese People Liberation Army Air Force with their specifically J10C fleet. This is as bad as this news is for Dassault Rafale. This is great news for J10C and its manufacturer Chengdu Air Industries, which saw its stock rising 20% to the daily limit before the trading were stopped on the Shenzhen stock market. And how did this happen? How did India lose its most advanced planes? I found a French expert's take on this on X. I think he provided the most reasonable explanation. So basically, the Indian government they felt they had to respond after the terrorist attack in Jammu Kashmir. Particularly had to respond to the Indian public outcry for revenge. So they decided to do a surgical strike against target inside Pakistan, and but at the same time they try to avoid wider escalation, especially uncontrollable escalation. So they require the Indian Air Force not to strike against military targets of Pakistan Air Force, and specifically that means leaving the air defense system of Pakistan completely intact. And for this reason, they chose Rafale because Rafale has the most advanced electronic warfare system. The idea is Rafale will be able to complete this very hard mission unscathed. So in short, India government decided to play at hard difficulty mode. And as a result, the Rafale fleet paid the price for it. Now, this obviously is a huge humiliation for the Indian Air Force. This is why they struck back the next day. But they have learned their lesson from their previous days, so they held back their man-made aircraft, instead sending a swarm of drones, specifically Israeli-made kamikaze drones against target inside Pakistan. There's reports of targets being hit around Lahore airport, Lahore being the second largest city inside Pakistan. Now, you see, Israeli drones were instrumental in the Azerbaijan victory against Armenia a couple of years ago. And India was obviously hoping to replicate that success. But the drones is only effective against opponents that do not have a modern air defense system. And this is not the case for Pakistan. Pakistan had purchased air defense system from China. And the Pakistan side claimed they shut down 25 of these Israeli made drones, and they have the wreckage to prove it. And we can see from the markings that are indeed made in Israel. Now, what can we take away from this? It's my opinion that this conflict is very unlikely to escalate into a wider war between two nuclear powers. Because from the very beginning, India government tried to avoid escalation or wider escalation. I mean, they obviously escalated by striking Pakistan. But they tried to hold their air force back. And now that obviously didn't work. There is already escalation. However, I think so far we do not see any signs of mobilization of ground forces. And that will be necessary for a wider war. So what we're really seeing is two sides treating missiles, drone attacks. This is basically an upgraded version of an earlier Indian-Pakistan artillery duel across the line of actual control, which makes a lot of noise, makes spectacular news footage, but the tension will remain high, but there will be no wider war, which is a good thing. And it's my sincere hope that both sides can just claim victory and calm the situation down, because after all, it's the innocent civilians who are getting caught in this crossfire. I'm Carl Zha. You're watching Silk and Steel podcast. Leave your comments below on what you think about this conflict and who do you think the potential winners are. And let me know what more you would like to see on my channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.